Last time I told you of the devil dog of Despot, the legend of the basset hound gone badly bonkers. Some may think it's just a story, but talk to Gerard Buttfry down the road, and he'll tell you he nearly filled his trousers to the hem when he heard an ungodly snarling in the bottom field at night. However, this evening I shall tell you about the hell horse, and how it still haunts the stables of Chartwell. You may well remember my mention of Lord Shirt-shifting Blithely Chinwright's favourite steed in my last tale, Throbbing Penis. On his return to the stables after leaving his master in the fields with the demon dog, Throbbing Penis was, understandably, rigid with fear. Foaming at the bit, nostrils flaring, eyes rolling so violently they all but rattled out of their sockets, it took 5 strong men to take his reins and lead him, kicking and rearing, into his stall. His frantic state did not abate for 3 days and nights. This was unheard of behaviour from Throbbing Penis, who had been sure and steady since very small. Whatever the horse had encountered that night, the night of his master's death, had altered this creature's character entirely. The stable staff did all they could to try and tame him, restrained him when they could get near enough, but he would thrash and tear at his ties till he bled, never tiring. They even beat him, for these were different times and ignorant fellows, but rather than subdue the horse, it only served to enrage him further, and he would charge and kick with more violence than ever. They steeped his feed in brandy in hopes of sedating the beast, but he wouldn't eat. Yet his energy never flagged, and day and night he whinnied and screamed ceaselessly, reared and kicked at his stall door to break it from its very hinges. It was clear that the horse was not merely distressed, but demented. The stableman hailed the butler to send for a vet, but the butler, who was hard of hearing due to auricle syphilis, knew of no woman named Yvette within 10 miles, and let the matter drop. By the 3rd day, the animal was not only changed in temperament, but physically altered too. Its face was lean and evil, its eyes blood red, its teeth now sharp. A nip from a horse is nothing to be sneezed at, but when, on the 4th day, Jim, the stable boy, lost 4 fingers from his right hand, bones and all, you will appreciate that this was something else entirely. Something truly wicked. The men became convinced that the horse, just as with the hound, had been cursed, that it was now a servant of evil. On the 5th night from its meeting with the dog, the hell horse burst from its restraints and broke down its gait. Among shouts from the men, woken by the noise, it reared high on its hind legs and let out a roar, so guttering and thunderous it might have shuddered the throat right out of its body. Blood dripping from its mouth, sweat coursing down its flanks, it charged about the yard, as if possessed, upturning coaches and traps, kicking in stall doors, making water on the groomsmen's boots lined up for polishing. One of the men made to catch him with a rope tied in a noose, but the hell horse kicked out madly and stopped the man dead in his tracks. The body of the man dropped to its knees there in the yard. The man's head was found the next day nestled in the chimney stack. After this fatal accident, Throbbing Penis's fate was sealed. Another of the men stepped forward, his shotgun raised to his shoulder, and as the hell horse turned its red eyes upon him, he fired. After the echo of the shot had died away, a quiet, like a smothering blanket, fell in the dark, yet the air still hung heavy with that frantic evil. All gathered there knew that while the host may be dead, it was merely the shell that was slain. Whatever it was that had possessed that poor animal could not be so easily dealt with. And so it proved to be, for it is well known that the stables of Shartwell are still haunted by the Hell-Horse ghost. At night it can be heard, even now, kicking and whinnying in its stall. Many eyewitnesses will swear on God's oath that they have seen the doors rattle to the point of coming off their hinges. The stink of acrid urine will fill the air. The distinct clop of heavy hooves will ring out over the cobbles. Some even say that they have seen a horse leap over the stall door. What of it, Reginald, you may say? It's a stable yard. Such sights and sounds are commonplace, surely. It may interest you to know that the stable has not been in use since 1867, and that the buildings were knocked down in 1936. The doors, the walls, the horses do not exist. There are many questions raised by these tales. What is it that cursed the horse, the hound, and the land known as Despot? What dark secret lies deep in the history of this place? Will we ever really know? Do we really want to? But most importantly, isn't it your bedtime? Good night.